What is mental illness? And maybe you're thinking you're talking about lazima we mwenda we na kichaa. No, you might be sober, doing your own businesses and doing your job very well, but you may be struggling with issues like emotionally. When you remember your mom who passed 3 years ago, you start crying. Unaanza tu kulia pasipo sababu. Or maybe sometimes back when you were young, ukiwa class 7, class 8, you went through a rape case. And that way, every time you think about it, you hate men. And you feel there's no need to get married because you see as if all men are the same. Because different people have different experiences and we have different histories. So you may be affected emotionally by that trauma, and every time you see a man, you hate that man, and maybe it was an uncle who raped you. That is a mental illness. Or less, maybe you went through a pastor whom you trusted with your information, and instead of that pastor helping you, they took advantage of you, your finances. And because of that, they made you to go back to financial hardships. And right now you are struggling financially because you took all your money to the church because the pastor or the bishop exploited you. Or a neighbor took advantage, you, or a person in high position, in authority, took advantage of you. And right now you feel you are struggling to forgive and forget such experiences. That is called trauma. That means mentally you are ill and you are struggling and you need a person to help you walk through that experience. A person that shall help you understand what is your struggles or why you are going through that and how to overcome what you are going through because you are mentally ill, yeah? So there are different kind of mental health problems. And number one is what I've touched about, experiences through your childhood, experiences through your teachers. Maybe they harassed you, maybe they did things to you that affected you mentally. Because in your mind there are some registers that register both good and bad things. And when they register, until you are helped through to wipe those registers away, they might totally affect your life completely. So there are different things that affect you mentally, and number one is that childhood, another one is through isolation. There are people, because they trusted a man or a woman and they got into a relationship with, and they gave all their love to them. And then somewhere along the way, they parted way in a very bad way, and there was heartbreaking. And to date, they bleed. When they remember their first love, they bleed. And because of that, they are caused to hate relationships. They are at their 30s, almost 40s, but when you tell them to get back in relationship, they don't want. Why? Because of that experience. You see, that alone tells you there is some problem somewhere and you need assistance to help you understand that experience doesn't have to determine your future. You can heal out of that and get into a very wonderful relationship. Get a good guy who will marry you. Why remain single? And you can get married, get the right person. So when you realize that you are struggling with such issues, kindly know that you have a mental problem and you need assistance. And that is why we have this program to help you overcome such issues and help you be able to break through. So if you have things that you are struggling with in your past, currently, or even foreseen fears, they can trouble you. You are wondering, maybe you are a young man, you just got married, and you are struggling and asking yourself, how will I be able to manage my family? And you are struggling with that. You are fearing the future. That's also a problem. And it shows you that you have mental illness. What are the effects or the dangers of mental illness or mental problems. There's so many, and I'll be able to touch on some of them that will help you understand the reason as to why you need a therapist or somebody to walk with you in your challenges before you get to dangers. And number one, we know that one of the main reasons that leads to that happens when somebody becomes mentally ill, number one, they can go to suicide, especially when the mental illness has grown all it is in very high stages. You can think of committing suicide. And especially in our days, we are seeing so many young people, because of being trolled online, because of relationship, they end up committing suicide. Like one case, I would like just to give you as an example of what can happen if you don't seek a healthy practitioner, mental healthy practitioner area, what can happen to your life. One example is given that was even in our daily newspaper of a young lady who started an online dating relationship with a guy. She was from Kenya. She had just, I think she was in Form 3, Form 4. And then she gets online and starts a relationship with somebody abroad. Then the intimacy grows. Then one day, the guy moves in Kenya and goes to the coastal region in Mombasa and tells this girl, come over. And now when this girl comes over to Mombasa, this lady is excited to meet the boyfriend. And they are there happy and rejoicing. And then they are having all kind of intimacy, including sex there. Then this, little did she know, hakuwa anajua kwamba this guy is not in love with her, but wants to exploit her. I just want you to understand what happens when you don't get a person to help you make the right decisions in the right way, or a counselor to help you walk through your challenges very well. Now, so this guy now tells this lady, I want us to take photos as we do these things. So they are taking photos, nude photos. And as they continue taking these photos, now the guy is looking for an exploitation, a weak point for exploiting this girl. Later on, the guy tells this young lady, the lady is innocent. Now, I want you now to meet my friend. Kumbe alikuwa amekuja na jamaa mwingine, na si jamaa, not one, not two, lakini anakuja na majamaa wengine wazungu. And this lady now is told, now, do you see this guy? I want you also to sleep with them. Now the lady, the jovial lady, the happiness, disappear. So what next? So this lady tells this guy, no, I can't do this. I love you and I came because of you. I'm not sleeping with any other person. The guy tells the lady, if you don't do it, I know your Facebook, we are friends on Instagram, I'm going to expose your nude photos online. And then the lady is cornered. So what she does, she agrees to sleep with the other guys. So Kube, these guys are a company that deals with pornography. But this guy did not know. So she was exploited on levels of love. So this lady sleeps with these different men. And now she started, what was happiness is no longer happiness. So what happens next? After the guys, the guy tells the lady, now after these guys, there are coming some animals. And what you have been doing to us, you're going to do with animals. This time, the camera is rolling. So it is no longer now love relationship. It is pornography being shot. It is those videos being shot. And this lady is feeling now dirty, is feeling misused, is feeling bad. But she has nobody to tell, because when she left her home, she came all the way from Busia to go to Mombasa. So when she left her home, she don't tell the parents, because it was a secret relationship. And so what happens next is that these guys brings in dogs, brings in some weird animals to continue the same. And so when this lady is leaving Mombasa after being misused, she's given back just enough money to bring her back to Nairobi to her sister's home in Utawala. And the lady comes to Utawala. This is a real case that was in the news. And when she comes to Utawala, she goes to the camp, the GSU camp. And when she goes to the GSU camp with the sister's home, she don't tell the sister what has happened. So she's totally mentally sick, but she has nobody to tell because she's feeling guilt, she is feeling misused, she is feeling abused, she is feeling embarrassed, she is feeling shameful. And that is what happens in mental illness. You are struggling inside you, but you have no one to tell because you feel, I'm struggling with some personal addictions and I don't want to speak them out because people will misunderstand me or they are going to judge me. And now you end up doing more bad things or you end up remaining in the addictions just because you did not open up to somebody professional who can help you walk through that challenge. So this lady stays in the house, in the sister's house, in the GSU camp, and the sister is asking her what happened. She can't tell. She's just crying and crying and crying and crying. Let alone, she takes a pen and a paper. She writes a note to the sister. She writes a note to the mother. She writes a note to the father. She leaves the note there, and she goes and commits suicide. That's what happens when you have a mental problem and you don't want to speak it out. And at times, what happens is that we don't want to speak out because of what? Because we are feeling shame or we are feeling don't have people that we can trust enough to share with them our challenges. And that is now where professional therapist comes in, especially people that you can trust and they help you walk through. Another danger or effect is divorces and separation. Right now, in our time, in our generation, we have so many cases of broken homes and marriages just because of mental problem. Because you have an issue in your family. I have a wife, and my wife, we are not communicating well. There are some small problems, things that we call small problems, but I don't have somebody to share to and help me go through and help me understand that these are normal challenges in marriages. So what happens? I reach a point and say, ido sitaki, na ninaachana na yeye, ninaondoka. So what happens? The sufferers are not you and your wife, or not you and your husband, but the children. So unakuta watoto wanaanza kulewa na single parents, single fathers, single mothers, just because of a small problem. A story is told of guys that misunderstood them, they had a small misunderstanding between the family, and ikawa ya kwamba kuna ndawa, wamenunua ndawa hii ya kusugua meno. So the wife want dawa ifinywe kutoka chini kikuja juu. Naye husband akujanga na mashughuli zake anafinya anywhere. Pale anashika bela ndio anafinya. So the wife comes and tell the husband, please tukinunua dawa finya kutoka pale chini itoke vizuri. Naye jamaa sema ni sawa, lakini nakujanga na haraka zangu, sasa nitashindia hapo kufinya dawa na mpagilio. Do you know that alone made there be a very severe argument? Na kwa sababu ya hiyo wakakuja kuachana. Sometimes back we were doing some counseling with my wife. We usually do premarital counseling. And we had a case whereby the lady and the guy that wanted to wed could not get an understanding because the young man wanted after marriage waende kanisa yao. Now the lady anasema hapana, mimi siendi kanisa yenu, naenda kanisa yetu. Do you know that became a problem, a small problem that led those two guys, those two young lady and guy, wakose kuona, just because they could not understand each other on those lines. That is what happens. Yeah, when there is not, when you are not sober, even when you are making your decisions, you not make them sober, in a sober way. So many people have left jobs that would have led them to be financially free, but left them before their time immaturely, just because they had a problem in their reasoning. They had a small problem with the boss. If they had somebody to help them walk over and cope over that challenge, they would now be free. Maybe ulitoka hiyo kazi na huyo manager akafutwa the following the following month. Na umeondoa juu ya manager, ukaanza kustruggle financially. That is what happens. So it is important, before it reaches that point, to get somebody who will help you through. And we are here to help you and to walk with you through. And it's good, kindly comment down there and say and say what issues would like us to discuss and help you through, that we're able to give you to help you have a sober or healthy mind, because everything begins and ends with your mindset. The greatest transformation is your mind. If your mind is whole and is healthy, you can be sure that you're going to make decisions in a healthy way, and decisions that shall help you and make you grow, and grow financially, grow socially. Your relationship shall grow, your husband, your wife, your family shall grow. But if you are sick, anybody around you shall know that you are sick. Ujaona mtu amekosewa hata kidogo asubuhi, anashidanga na mamuts kwa sababu alikosewa tu na makanga asubuhi. So it is important, whenever you get a problem, kindly seek that a person that can help you. Seek professional psychiatrist before you reach a point that you are thinking about suicide, you are thinking about leaving that husband or wife, you are thinking about getting out of the country to move to another country because you feel as if the country is not the right country that you are in. Before you make those decisions, seek somebody who can help you through. I believe this has helped you and shall help you make decisions that are informed decisions in your life. God bless you, and God take care of you.